So welcome back to the Raphael Theatre here in San Rafael, and we're still with Andrew Poulain from THX. Now Andrew, we've discussed most things doing with theatres. We're in the theatre number 3 here. Now all the theatres have different designs, yet the idea is the same in terms of acoustical space. So one of the things in this space that we're in is I can't see any speakers.
Sure.
So how have you managed to hide your speakers, and how could people relate that to designing their own home theatres?
Well, sure. Actually, this is one of my favorite rooms because it's such a clean and elegant design. And so if someone's going to put speakers behind fabric or hide acoustic treatments behind fabric, you're going to want to use material that's acoustically transparent so that it doesn't attenuate too much the high frequency performance of the loudspeaker, or conversely, it actually doesn't obstruct the absorptive characteristics of the material behind the fabric. You want to let that energy permeate through the material so you don't get the kind of a high frequency reflection off the material itself. There's a lot of different companies that make it, and then you can come up with an aesthetic design that's very appealing, and the loudspeakers could be hidden, and then you can really just focus all your energy on the screen, or all your attention towards the screen, and enjoy what you're watching.
Of course, in a theatre like this, the screen is perforated, but that technology is now moving into the home. I mean, I've got an acoustically transparent screen now, and these things they're getting more cost effective now, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly. You know, a long time ago, they'd actually have to, you know, the PVC type of screens, they'd actually have to lay out the material and then come in with a die and punch holes in it. And now a lot of times with these woven fabric materials or new, you know, machinery that they can actually accelerate the perforation process, the price of the screens have come down dramatically, and it's actually a really good alternative for customers to hide their speakers behind.
Now, obviously, we're talking about concealment here, and this comes onto the wife acceptance factor when it comes into the home.
Certainly.
That's maybe a sexist term, but it's one that we use on the forums, being 98% male, our readership and viewership. But if you have a partner who's maybe not quite as into the home theatre thing as you are, hiding the speakers away and yet trying to get the best performance, it can be a real issue, can't it?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and there's I think two compromises that you're looking at. Maybe compromise isn't the right word, but you want to maintain the performance characteristics of the loudspeaker and the performance characteristics of the space, speaker placement, things to that extent, but you want the aesthetic design to be really pleasing, because ultimately this isn't your home. This is a room that you want to be in all the time. It's not necessarily something you want to spend all your time and effort investing and building out and then never go in the room because, you know, your wife's mad at you every time you want to go in and watch a football game.
Yeah. So is it still possible to get the high performance if you're having to make these compromises? What are your specifications, are they flexible enough for it to be adequate for the home?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they're flexible and practical. Practical in the sense that, you know, we understand real world conditions, and there's always issues that you have to address with either the respective performance or speaker location or materials that you're using in the room. But again, with the concept in mind that you want to maintain the interchangeability content and the highest performance of that motion picture experience.
So Andrew, I guess in wrapping up our 3 videos here, we're talking about standards, and standards are really important, and this is a point we try to get across to our viewers and our listeners and readers. And it's not that difficult to do, is it?
No, actually it's not. And in fact, one of the things that we try to do is make tools available to the consumer so they can educate themselves about how to build a proper theater, whether it be a theater owner or to build a proper theater if someone's doing a home theater system. And so that information is available on the THX website. And, you know, as we're also concerned about, you know, someone enjoying a motion picture, they can search for the local THX certified cinema and go watch a film in a fantastic theater like this.
And when it comes to the standards, and people always say, well, you'll never see it as a director intended. What would your answer be to that?
Actually, that's not true. I have the luxury of actually going into these rooms that directors work in, and have gone into theaters like this in public screenings where the directors have watched movies with a regular audience. And I can say unequivocally, the presentation that you get in a theater, a THX certified theater, is the same presentation quality that you get in a THX certified professional facility and other professional facilities.
And of course you have the education program on your website, and also you train dealers and installers. So by looking at one of these dealers to install your system, are you guaranteeing that type of quality?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we feel is important is to educate the practitioners in the field that are going out and setting up home theater systems and designing home theater systems with that fundamental philosophy that we have of preserving the artistic intent and making sure that that experience in the home is equitable to the experience done in the professional facility.
Well, Andrew, thank you very much for taking the forum members around this gorgeous cinema complex that we have here, but also telling us all about THX and the certification project. So thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.